David Crane's Pitfall was undoubtedly a huge success for Activision on the Atari 2600, so of course there was going to be a sequel. Pitfall 2 unfortunately was overshadowed by the video game crash. Fortunately, Activision was one of the few companies that actually published games also on computers, so the game was ported to the Commodore 64. David Crane had a vision of some enhanced graphics such as advanced water effects, better animations, and a soundtrack for the game, but the Atari 2600's hardware just wasn't up for it. So he had to actually develop his own coprocessor chip to include on the cartridge that would enhance the graphics and audio capabilities of the system. This was a common practice back then because the Atari 2600 was very limited, and so a lot of game developers would actually put their own chips onto their cartridges to enhance the games. As I said, this was pretty common practice back then. It's not something that you saw just during the Nintendo era. So the game is very much like the original, except that it's a much bigger game and more complex. There are some characters that were brought over from the Saturday morning cartoon, Saturday Supercade, such as Pitfall Harry's niece and his pet mountain lion, and to win the game you had to collect as many treasures as possible and find both of them before the time limit ended. And that was it. Not a lot of Atari 2600 gamers got to experience this game because, again, it came out right after the crash, so it was sort of overshadowed by all of that. But a lot of Commodore 64 players got to play this game. It was also released on a variety of other computers back then, so it was not a forgotten game. But on the Atari 2600, not a lot of people knew about it. Fortunately, this game did live on computers, and we're able to experience it today. What we're seeing here is the cartridge version, though this was available on disc. That's how I originally played it on the Commodore 64 back in the day. So I've been Mike. This is Pitfall 2. Watch me play this. Not that great at it, of course. And I will be back next time with more classics from the Commodore 64. If you like this video, consider subscribing to our channel. Also, visit the Gamers Bay community. You will find us on MeWe, the only social media network that does not collect your data and will never sell your data. And if you'd like to support our channel, visit the Gamers Bay store where you can find retro games, movies, and more. All links are in the video description.